Hi guys, how we doing? Welcome to another Sunday night stream from Bangkok, right here in Bangkok in Thailand. Right, I hope it's going to be a good stream tonight. I'm not sure how it's going to go on tonight because the clocks have gone back in a lot of countries or forward. I can't remember which way. So right now, currently in the UK, I think it's about 2 p.m, which obviously makes it difficult for some people. But we'll see how we get on. We're just coming up to the 100 in now, so that's always a good sign. 3 minutes in, as it were. Right, let's start saying hi to everyone. Chris. You are first tonight, mate, and I need your help tonight because I don't think I've got any moderators in until a little bit later. I know Franco's out there, but he's working, and Damien is out doing his shopping. A bit early for him. He might be in the member stream. Right, so hi to the Gormless Twit, and hi to Scuba Steve. Donald Trump, I hope you win tomorrow, Mr. Trump. I really do. Right, already not even a minute into the stream, and yeah, joyous rumor. Thank you very much. You do it every week. Hey Peter, great video on buying a condo and apartments. First of all, thanks for the super chat. And on that video, you don't realize, do you? You know, you come in with a dream and you think, oh, I'll just buy a condo. It makes sense. But once you listen to all those points in the video, you think twice. I had a guy write to me today. He says, I'm not buying a condo. I was planning to. I'm not going to now after watching your video. If you haven't yet seen that video, that'll be released to it's out for members at the moment, but it'll be out for everybody else on Tuesday. Okay, right. Josh, hello Peter, hello from Italy. Have a great stream from Josh and Francis. Well, thank you very much, Josh and Francis. What's the weather like in Italy at the moment? We're coming up. It's winter, isn't it? So I dare say it's fairly chilly. Let's just get these currencies up. Yeah, it's 43.81 for the pound today. You can see the rest of the currencies there. I want it to get back up to 45, actually. I don't think it'll ever get up to 50. No name. Hey guys, here in my room near, how do you say that? Pantha with contemplating my outing tonight. Trip is going very well. We'll send you a message later in the week. Okay, good stuff. Right, now here's a blast from the past. Bottle Baby. Haven't had you in the stream for a long time. I've often seen you in Ed Sweeney's stream, and I remember you were in the early streams during the dark days of COVID, but nice to see you back in, and hopefully it'll be a good stream and we'll see more of you. Brian, how you doing? Nice to see you in the stream. Right, Canary spreads his wings. Good evening, Peter. Terrific win for the Poppies against the Cobblers. Well, I know who they are, but if anybody who knows me, I don't have any interest in football. I know it's very unusual for a British guy not to like football. I've just never had any interest in it, to be honest with you. Okay, Andrew Byron, good afternoon to you and all listeners. Hope it's a great Sunday. Yeah, thank you, Andrew. Hobson's Choice. The rain is finally easing, and it's been hot these last few days. Of so-called now cooler winter season. Well, we're coming into November now, aren't we? So the rain is still about. It hasn't ended yet. Okay, who's that? Just become a member. Trump 24, no more bullshit. 24 became a YouTube member. Okay, well, thank you. I'm not sure about the message, but thank you for becoming a member. Yeah, so we're into November now, so it should start to ease up now. We're getting in, I think we're officially into high season now. But I was reading that the flights coming into Thailand, the numbers are not quite what they were pre-pandemic. I have actually got something here, actual numbers here, if I can find them. Where are we? No, I thought I had the numbers here about how many people less are coming in. But while we're on the subject of airports, I don't know if you're aware of it, but they're launching biometric face recognition here in all the major airports in Thailand. I've got a number here for you. So it says Thailand has introduced biometric face recognition technology for passengers at its main airports. The move comes amid rising traffic and expansion plans for the industry. This includes the opening of a third runway at Suvarnabhumi Airport and a 4.82% rise in international passengers for the year up to the end of October. So that's good news. Nonetheless, although this week saw the return of British Airways flights, British Airways have started flying direct from Gatwick now. That's another bit of news. Flights in and out of Thailand have not yet returned to pre-pandemic levels. From Friday, departing passengers at Thailand's main airports had access to biometric learning facilities on flights after check-in. In short, the new system uses facial recognition technology, allowing passengers to voluntarily scan their faces. After that, a token is created together with their passport information. In turn, are then allowed unimpeded access to the post-departure area. So that's good, moving with the time. So eventually, I guess you just roll up. They'll give you face recognition. You don't have to mess about with your passport. Where were we now? Who haven't I said hi to yet? Right, I didn't read your message, Hobson's Choice. Evening all. I ventured to Nana. I ventured to Nana area early last night. It was quite busy. I was shocked by how many, how can I say this, of loitering men of a certain race hounding tourists. I know exactly who you mean because I live here. I don't go to Nana Plaza very often, but I do know who you mean. Why are these messages coming up so large? They don't normally come up that big, do they? Let me just check something. Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, they don't like to spend money, do they? They kind of buy a can of beer from 7-Eleven and walk up and down Soi 4, bothering the girls and things. Okay, I'm going to have to deal with that later. I don't know why. All the, like when I put these on screen, like St. Edward, for instance, normally it's very small in the bottom. Let me just stick with me a minute, guys. Let me just see if I can work this out because that's too big. Yeah, unless they've updated, it's quite hard with. Okay, I won't worry about it. I won't waste time. Where were we? Right, D and Isan, good evening. You see how big that is? Look, D. Look, you can actually see your front. Is that your front lounge there now? Really massive, aren't they? Across the screen, they used to be very discreet in the left corner there. William, is it? Let's put that up. William Clerico, is it? Sorry if I ballsed your names up there, but hi from Ohio, US. Steve the Butcher, evening from Walthamstow. How you doing, Steve? Hugh Jazz. Greetings from California. We just turned our clocks back and it's 5 a.m. here. Same in the UK. Wayne Bridge, I'm in Nana and Peter is in Nana. Okay, not Nana Plaza though. Scuba Steve, it's 1 p.m. Is it, Steve? Okay, all right. I thought it was 2. Pong Hey Charlie. Good evening, Peter from Down Under. Great name. Mike Braithwaite. Hello. Are you Thailand beauty contest judges? I'd like to be. I'm not though, unfortunately, because I believe yesterday they had the Pattaya, the bikini race on the beach. I was going to do a story about it, and I realised it's already over. It was done today, and I missed Deepa Valley as well. There was a big Deepa Valley festival. You don't know what Deepa Valley is? It's a big Indian festival. And but there's a lot of nice food stores and everything. And somebody told me about it. I didn't even know it was on. I don't think I can pronounce that name. Jacko Javinen, is it? Hello, Mongers. Mike Braithwaite, all hail Trump. LBC, greetings from Los Angeles. Let me just take this ticker off now. There we are. Right, okay. I've teamed up with Thai Friendly, the dating site. I've become an affiliate for them because I've looked at Tinder and everything, and they stopped taking affiliates. And I wrote to them, and they said, "Yeah, your channel's great. It goes exactly with what we're doing." So, if you're coming out here and you fancy, dating some beautiful Thai ladies, then there is a link in the description to Thai Friendly now. So that'll be in all my descriptions in the future. So. Maybe take it worth at least looking through it anyway. Real Rainy, how you doing? St. Christopher, good evening, Peter from Georgia, USA. How you doing? Nice picture there. You really do look like Santa Claus. Nomya Inspector, how are you? No name. Where exactly are you? I'll talk to someone else there. I'll put it up there. John Mitchell, sun is shining here, Peter. Okay, that's good news. Let me get rid of this now. Enough self-advertising. I've got so much on here tonight, I can't find it. There we are. Right. I just want to tell you something really, really quickly before I read out any more comments there. So, did you see that little video I put out in the week? I was in the park in my cap and what have you. And in that video, it was only a 3-minute video, but I was talking about a certain restaurant. They all do it, actually, but it's a particular restaurant I'd had a meal in. And what I'd said in that video, if a restaurant has a service charge, I don't normally tip because, in the UK, you leave a service charge, it goes to the staff, or should do anyway. And I had a meal and I said to the girl, do you get the 10%? She said no. And I thought she was like just trying to get some more money out of me, And I won't do the whole video here again if you've already seen it, but I've got an update on it. So basically, if you didn't see that video, what it is, a lot of the bars and the restaurants, I think most of them here, they don't give the service staff to the charge or to the staff. They keep it. The boss keeps it, right? And people left comments and said, "Oh, you should tell them to take it off the bill, and that's impossible. They won't do it. If you go in for a meal and you eat your meal, you'll be presented with a bill with a service charge, and if you don't pay it, it's kind of like skipping without paying, because they just won't accept it. So you can't do that. The only other thing you can do is give the tip to the girl anyway, and then you're paying, you know, a lot more. But I was actually, in that video, I said I was quite shocked that they were charging 10% and they were not giving it to the staff. But actually, I looked at their menu today because I just wanted to double check. It's not 10%, it's 15%. So the way I look at that is, if you look at the menu and a burger says, I don't know, it's 200 baht, then it's not 200 baht, is it? It's what, do my maths now? It's 230 baht, isn't it? Because they put 15% on top of it. Is that right? Yeah, 230. So instead of putting 230 on the menu, they're putting 200, but they're actually charging 230 because they're saying the service charge is service charge, but it's not a service charge because it's the staff aren't getting it. That's what a service charge does, isn't it? So I just wanted to let you know, if you're coming out here, guys, don't presume that all these restaurants and bars, if it says service charge, the staff are getting that. Okay, they're not. The majority that I've asked, the restaurants are keeping it, and I wasn't very happy to hear that. So I now leave money in the girl's hand, or whoever it was, or I try and go somewhere that doesn't have a service charge. You can't do nothing about VAT. That's 7% here. Most of the businesses charge VAT. You've got to pay it, but service charge, it doesn't go to the staff. It's a bit naughty, isn't it? Right, Bottle Baby. After all this biometric data is stolen, the only place to hide is on Mars. Good point. I'm still wondering why these messages are so big. I am logged in, of course I am. Let's go into brand. Is that it? Does that make a difference? There we go. Minimal. That's it. That's changed. Right. That's it. I found it, because that was starting to annoy me, actually. So, you know, because I can leave a message on screen. And you can see me and I can talk. But when it's across my face, I can't leave messages up there. Right. Richard, can you fly into Pattaya directly? I don't think so. No. I don't think you can. In fact, I'm pretty sure, almost certain. Hobson's Choice. Annoying. They are thinking they're it. Okay. Wayne. That's surprising. I've never given Therme a chance, as I'm not Asian. Oh, you'll stand more of a chance then. The girls in Therme, they prefer Asians now. There's a lot of Korean guys who come here. And I was in Therme a while ago. I say a while ago, good few months ago now. And I was with a guy of my own kind of color and creed, as it were. And he said hello to a girl. And she just turned around and says, I only go with Koreans. She actually told him, I only go with Koreans, you know. So anyway, Canary spreads his wings. Don't bother the Therme, much better near Soy 15. All right. URL Droid Superbot. Do you get paid for hotel reviews in restaurants? No, I don't. I don't get paid. Hand on heart, I really don't. The reason I do the hotel reviews, a couple of reasons. One of the reasons is it gives me an excuse to kind of stay in a different hotel each time I go to Pattaya. And I'm planning to do some off Soy Buakhao. The reason I haven't done any yet is because I've been looking for hotels that have got car parks, because obviously I can't just leave my car on Soy Buakhao. I drive down there. But I think it's important, you know, when you look at a room on Agoda or bookings.com, they're going to show you their best room, and they manipulate the pictures. I'll give you a good example. I once stayed in a hotel in Hua Hin. And when I looked at the picture, I went for the upgraded room. So you got the standard room and the next level up. And when I looked at the picture, let's bring my mic a bit closer there. When I looked at the picture, the room looked huge, really huge. It was a nice room. But when I got there, I looked and I thought, is this it? It wasn't tiny, but it wasn't like, when I looked at the picture, it was really big. And I thought, wow, that's something. And what it was, the room had actually two small balconies, one at each end, which is really unusual for a hotel room to have two balconies. So you kind of, the door's here, and then there's a balcony on your left, and there was that balcony on that side. So the guy who took the photograph, he'd obviously gone out onto the balcony as far as he could in the corner, gone right back with a camera and filmed towards the other balcony, and it made the room look bigger. So one of the reasons I think it's good to do hotel reviews when I'm actually staying in them is guys can actually see truly what they will get for their money. Because I don't say, hey, I'm from YouTube, I want to film your hotel. I'm just a normal guest, and I film the room, I film the breakfast buffet and the swimming pool and the location and all the rest of it. So what you see in those videos is actually what you're going to get. The rooms might vary slightly. One of the hotels, I'd never stay in it again. It was terrible. But of course, the deflamination rules here in Thailand, I can't tell you which one it was, unfortunately. But most of them have been pretty good. So that, yeah, I don't get any money from them. And the same thing with the any restaurant reviews. No, I don't, because I've got to provide content for my YouTube channel about Thailand, aren't I? So I've also got to provide content. I do stories and stuff, but I like to mix it up a little bit. So the reason you probably notice when you watch my videos, there's a little logo comes up the left. It says includes paid promotion. That's because I put a link to Thai Visa Soy 6 and Thai legal protection in every single link. I work with them, so I've got to put that in there, but I don't get paid anything from any restaurants, bars, hotels, nothing like that. No. Right. Okay, good question. Ray Ross. Hey Peter, my 3rd week living in Pattaya. Have you been to Taka House? Good curry. I haven't. That's be truthful. Mr. Balding. Hello Peter. Have you been to One Bangkok at Lumpini yet? I don't think I have. No, I'm terrible, isn't it? Hibernating away in my apartment. No, I spend a lot of time editing and stuff, so I'm not, I don't get out as much as I would like to. URL Droid Superbot. How many fans do you meet on a booking basis who seek your advice? Do you mean like people who want the one-on-one consultancy thing, or do you mean just people who I meet in the daytime for lunch or something like that? Maybe you can send another, because it's 2 different things, isn't it? Hobson's Choice. Okay, you're talking to someone else. Tada, how you doing? You're saying cheerio, top of the morning to you. Okay, nice hat, by the way. Got one similar. Let me go down to some of these newer comments because I'm getting way behind here. Broadcast Dave. Hey, everyone. First live I have caught in a long time. I'll have to put you up there, Broadcast Dave. There we go. No name. Hobson. Oh, you're talking. Saunders. Good evening, Peter, the moderators and everyone. How you doing, Charles? Wayne Bridge. When you sign up to Thai Friendly, there's no obligation to purchase anything. Okay. I haven't, I've only just affiliated with them. I haven't actually gone through their site, but I know they're one of the big ones. You've got Thai Friendly, Tinder, Badoo. There's probably another one that I've forgotten, but there's no point if I'm going to do affiliate links in my descriptions. And I have to do things that fit into the kind of picture of my YouTube channel. There's no point me putting a link to Firestone tires, is there? Who's going to click on that? Who's going to come on here and click on that? Canary spreads his wings. Always try Thai Friendly. Can't be bothered waiting 10 minutes. So pay membership, which is cheaper than anything else. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people just don't want to pay for the memberships, but personally, I think it is worth having the membership because you get access, not just on Thai Friendly, on any dating site, you get access to a lot more, and you get to see more photos, more girls, and what have you. And then you can always move over to Line, can't you? You're not supposed to do that, but that's another way to do it. Okay, so you're in Vietnam, are you? Triangle hat. Okay, very nice. Never been. Plan to go probably next year. I'm just trying to find out the areas. I heard Da Nang was pretty good. David Pipe, I seen your message earlier and I can't see it now. So if you're still in here, David, hi to you. And I think it would be a good idea for us to make a video on the insurance again. So let me just give you an update on the insurance. So do you remember when I arrived here about 2 years ago? I tried to get insurance with a company and they didn't turn me down. They accepted me, but there was a lot of exclusions in the insurance. I can't tell you the name of the company again because I'd been put on one tablet. I take one tablet to bring the blood pressure down a little bit. I take a tablet because I have acid reflux. I've been taking the tablet for 25 years. I take a statin. Well, I was 108 kilos when I went for that. And after they said they wouldn't insure me for a heart attack, they wouldn't insure me for stroke, they wouldn't insure me for all sorts of things. I was quite upset about it. So I thought, well, no one's going to insure me. So what I did is I've got $1 million baht tucked away in the bank, which isn't a lot really for medical here, but it'd get me through a heart attack or a stroke. And so I just left it at that. Okay. So as you know, I've lost some weight and I regularly go to the hospital and I've just had a lab report. Everything's come back normal, all the blood sugar's down by 1/3. I don't have type 2 diabetes. Everything's normal, but there's one thing that's still a bit high, and that's my triglycerides. They were 450, they're now 250. The maximum is supposed to be 150. So what I've decided to do, I contacted the same insurance company and I said, look, my circumstances have changed. I've got a lab report here. Is it worth me applying again? He said, look, go for it. I'll give it to the underwriters. It should change things. I don't think it will, but I've done it anyway. I've sent them 11 pages. So I sent them a full lab report. I had I checked the plaque in my veins, came back 0. The doctor was amazed. He said, even young guys have plaque in your veins. He said, it's come back as 0. Okay. He wanted to take me off my medicines because he said everything's come down again. So I've sent all these reports together with an honest fact sheet about anything that I've had in the past, because they do check up, and I've reapplied. So that was just a few days ago. So I'm waiting for the answer. And if they insure me, then I'll tell you the name of the company. And the reason I've changed my mind is because of what happened to Ed Sweeney. You know, I always thought, well, if I get ill, I'll just go back and use the NHS. But they wouldn't let him on a plane. And also he was in hospital quite a long time here. So I've just decided to go for it again. If they turn me down, I've got another option where they probably will. But this same company, they have another system where they will insure you for if you've already had, you know, like you're on heart medicine and stuff. But from when the insurance starts, you wouldn't be covered for those things for 2 years into the insurance. So in other words, if I bought it today and I had a heart attack next year, it's not covered. But if I had a heart attack in 2 years' time, then it's definitely covered. I might go for that and hope for 2 years I'm okay. You know, I'm working out every day. I'm trying to get fit. I'm still losing weight, and I'll give you the latest on that, because it is quite scary. You know, I'm 65 next birthday. I don't want to not be covered if something happens to me. Okay, let's move on. Well over 200 in now. So if you've just joined us, good evening. Welcome to the Sunday stream. Okay, Canary spreads his wings. You're saying always try Thai friendly. Can't be. Oh, we just read that, haven't I? Right. Right. No name. Got her down to 1,500 from insurance. We're going on to the other subject now. Got her down to 1,500. Pretty good for there. Got 1K twice for Nana parking lot. So yes, you can still get decent prices. Okay, I know what you're talking about there. You're not going to get that in Nana Plaza, I can tell you. Okay. Right. Hey, mongers, vote early, vote often. Russia. Okay. Right. Chris. Patty has a few flights, including from Dubai. Oh, well, you learn something every day, because I didn't know that. I know British Airways have just started flying out of Gatwick again, but I only flew British Airways once. I wasn't really impressed with it, to be honest with you. I think you know, when I flew from England to Bangkok, I always went direct. I don't like that stopover, but I always thought Thai Airways and Eva Airways, I always thought they were pretty good. They were quite reasonably priced, especially before COVID. This is just personal, I'm not asking anyone to agree. I tended to think that the service on board Thai Airways was better than Eva Air. Not hugely, but it was. I just felt being Thai, the service is there, isn't it? You know, and I just found the Eva Airways, it was good, but not quite as good as Thai. I'm sure there's people who disagree with me on that one. Andrew B. Richard, Utapo UTP is the closest airport to Pattaya. Well, Utapo was an American air base in the Vietnam War, as was several others that were converted. Also, the big airports in the UK, they were all military in the Second World War before they were commercial. You take like Luton Airport, that was a military American airfield, as was was it Stansted? I'm trying to remember the other one now, but there was a few. Let me just say thank you to Dr. G Travel Vlog. Okay, Peter, hi from Denver, US. Do you have any idea on the price for implant mounted dentures compared to US implant? Right, I can't give you a price, but what I can tell you is you'll probably pay about 25% to 30% here in Thailand to what you'll pay in the US. There are people who fly here from Europe and the US, and even with the cost of the flight, a week in a hotel, all their food and everything, and getting the teeth done, they still save money on what they'd spend if they're in America. I recently had 7 veneers done. My bottom teeth weren't very good. They were cracked and chipped, and yeah, I'll show you. Look, if you're eating, turn away. See, look, 7. So I'm really happy with these. So these cost me 90,000 baht. They were, I think, if I get them, I think each one was 13,000. That was right. But these are the porcelain ones. These are what the A-listers have. You can get ceramic ones done cheaper. But from the one you're talking about, it's with a screw, isn't it? I'll try and find out for next time, but I can't. If anybody else knows, if anybody's had one here in Bangkok, he's talking about the implant. You know, where they screw a tooth into your bone, as it were. I'm sure somebody in the stream has done it. There we are. There's a handsome man, Franco. I know he's working tonight, so he's kind of one eye on his work and one eye on the stream. Matthew, hi Peter. Late in, we all heard the news in the UK of kickboxer found dead in Pattaya. Okay, so if you don't know what that story is, because I didn't know until today, I have got a story and a photograph, so I might as well do that now as you've brought it up. Was that Matthew? Was it Matthew? Yes, Matthew. There's a comment there. Okay. We just got it all on a clipboard, you see, old school. Right, okay, I've got the story. So let me just get the picture up for you, and we'll go with that. What is going on tonight? What on earth? Ah, there we are. I panicked then. Everything was gone. Where is he? Where is he? There we are. There we are. Okay. Right, okay, I'll read the story out. So now, one of the words I'm going to have to use broccoli. You know what any YouTuber in Thailand uses the word broccoli. You know what it means. It's something that people smoke that YouTube don't like us to use the word, okay? Right, a young British boxing hopeful was found lifeless at a swanky Vogue hotel in Pattaya, Thailand. The grim discovery of Joshua Goldstone in the early hours of Wednesday, October 30, has left friends and fans reeling as the boxer's Australian friend is battling for his life amidst the scandalous surroundings of potential broccoli overdose. The 21-year-old fighter's body was discovered on the fourth-floor suite of the lavish resort, laying face up next to his 27-year-old Aussie comrade, Jason Tonkin. Friends have taken to social media to express their heartbreak with Tonkin in a deep coma. The future remains uncertain for the Sydney-based Muay Thai fighter. So sad, you know, such a young man with lots of potential. Why is my mic drooping down? And how old did they say he was? 30 or something? I'll just leave that there. They said he's 30. You know, I mean, I've had double his life. I'm 64 and he's 30 and he's gone. They're a terrible thing, aren't they? Terrible. Yeah. Okay, Matthew. Right. Mike Braithwaite. Korean Air was fantastic when I flew to Vietnam. Okay. I have flown Korean Air. Obviously, my wife was Korean, so we've flown Korean Air. Dutch Britta, hello Peter, good evening, and chat, hello. Welsh 32, how are you? China always is cheap from Heathrow for a return. It's about £460. China Airways, okay. They're not an airline I'd probably choose, to be honest with you. I'd rather spend the extra 100. That's just personal choice. I don't like this thing here. Let me try and get rid of it. What's going on? It's gone all droopy. Never mind. Okay, it won't hurt, will it? Right. Okay, Hobson's Choice, talking about the implants. You're saying implant is an implant, one tooth, right? 30 to 70,000 baht approximately per tooth. I mean, that's a lot of money, isn't it? I mean, imagine if you have kind of like a dozen done. Wow. But I'm sure it's going to be a lot more in the States, isn't it? Andrew McCarry, Thai Airways used to serve a good... Oh, I've lost you. Where are we? There we are. Put you up there. Look. Thai Airways used to serve a good brandy after your meal, but now not anymore. I remember, it's weird, really. I remember when that, you know, when Thailand finally opened up after COVID and you had to get that Thailand pass, and I won't go through the whole thing, but you know what I mean. And I remember I took the flight and we all had to keep our masks on the plane, a 12-hour flight wearing a mask, right? And I asked for a beer and they said, oh, we're not serving any alcohol. And I was like, why? And they said, because of COVID. And I'm like, what's that got to do with it? You know, it's just money saving scheme, isn't it? I was gutted. Thai time. British Airways, for me, can't beat the English breakfast before you land. Okay, I've never had an English breakfast on Thai British Airways. Lost my hat. Hi from Hua Hin. How you doing in Hua Hin down there? Great place to be. Prince Fergus, good morning, handsome man. And Mongers, where is he then? The handsome man, is he behind me there? T Money. I should have done that on dental here in USA. One root canal, one crown on dental implant with screw. $11,000. Honestly, wow, that is a lot of money to fix one tooth, isn't it? I should have done that. Is that one tooth? I should have done that on dental here in the US. One root canal, one crown. Yeah, one. Wow, that's a lot. Robin, the chosen one. Hi, Peter and fellow mongers. Hope you're all well. Doing good, thank you, Robin. Canary spreads his wings. Damn, I paid $620 from Air China direct with them. You did well, Welsh 32. Okay. Mr. C, 22-hour flight from London Heathrow to Bangkok. due to air conditioning engine problems. Horrendous. That is horrendous, isn't it? I mean, just a smooth, straight flight is bad enough. 12 hours. Yeah, okay, Wayne. I'm sure you know what he really overdosed on. Bart SPL. There is no way they overdosed on. Well, it didn't say that. I mean, it could have been anything. You know what I mean? I can't say the word, obviously. Okay, Jeff Fried Rice said, okay, I hope you're not like really taking it literally that they died on eating too much broccoli or something. I mean, you know what I mean, right? Okay, a lot of people are saying the same thing, but right, the Daily Mealy. If you have Jetstar, fly with them, 2 cents. Never heard of them. Johnny Red, the mic drooping happens to us all as we get older. St. Christopher, that broccoli was treated with some other chemicals. Here's right. Okay. I don't want to kind of slip. I don't want to have a slip of the tongue and get the video taken down. So I'm going to stop talking about that now. You know the main story. The guy, you know, it's sad. Young guys like that. I'm going to skip all these. Do you know what? Martin Ryder, he said, I've met Martin, by the way. He says, any plans meeting up with Jeff Carter? So just by coincidentally, I was just flicking through YouTube last night. I watch YouTube in my lounge on the big screen. I don't generally watch Thai YouTubers. I watch things like survival. These guys who go out into the forest and make fires and cook, hunt, catch fish and build shelters. I don't know. I find it kind of quite soothing. But one of Jeff Carter's mini videos showed up. He was like, "Hi, I'm going to Thailand," or something like that. Anyway, but in answer to your question, I don't know him. I mean, I know of him. I've seen several of his videos. He's been around for a long time. Personally, I've never ever met him. I mean, if he contacted me and said, "Do you want to meet up and do a live or something like that?" I'd definitely, as long as he's here and not in Pattaya, I'd say yes. But I don't know him. Honestly, don't know him. Never met him. Right, Aussie rules. China Air is Taiwan-based, like Eva Air. Have flown China and Eva, both great service. Price Air China is a different story. Okay, absolutely. Mike Braithwaite, I think my dad was paying 6K USD per implant. Yeah, that seems more kind of reasonable, doesn't it? 11 seems a bit over the top. Not saying it's not true, but it just seems a lot. The bloke, the self-insure 1 million needs to be easily accessible if you're incapacitated. Do you keep it in a Thai bank account or something better? So I've recently moved it. I know what you're saying, but you don't actually have to get it there and then on the spot, right? They just need to know that you've got it. I know somebody who works in a hospital here, and I've talked to them about it. And I asked the same question. I said, look, what would happen if you treated a guy and he doesn't have the money on him, sort of thing, but he's got the money? They said, well, we'd draw up a contract and he would have to sign it and he would have to get that money, and if he didn't, then we could get him arrested because we have a contract. If they just let him walk out the hospital, that's different. So I was with the Bangkok bank. I'd had the money in there for about 18 months, and I don't touch it because it really is for a medical emergency. Okay. And so I was only getting 0.35% on it. I've got something else to tell you as well that's really exciting. Let me just get it up so I don't forget, because I know a lot of you guys use Wise. Let me just bear with me, guys. It's worth waiting. I just want to get this up because I've got some great news for you. I think I might have told you 2 weeks ago, but I'll tell you again. Right. If I forget, remind me to look at my phone. So yeah, I moved out of the Thai bank account because if you put it in K Bank, it's called a senior account. They've got all different levels. I'm now getting 2.2% on that. And they pay that into my bank every month. So it's actually 1,800 baht. But after tax, they take the tax out. I received my first one. I get it on the 11th of each month. So I received 1,533 baht into my account. And I'll get that every month. And that's tied up. Now, you can see that when I go into the app on my phone, it will say total investments. And it will show that million with whatever I've got in my current account. So if I've got 50,000 baht and I'm using that as my everyday money because I scan with my phone and everything, it will show investments of 1,050,000 and 50,000 baht. So I can't access the 1 million right there. But if I was in a hospital situation and I showed them on an official app that I've got the million, I'd be fine. They'd be fine with it. I'd just have to sign a contract, or they'd send somebody to the bank with me. Like, they just want to know what's important to them. They want to know you've got the money. It doesn't have to be in your pockets or at the end of an ATM machine. And as I say, I know what I'm talking about, because I did check with a hospital personnel who's a friend of mine, actually. Okay, right. Hope that answers your question. Right, now the other one. Now, I think I mentioned this to you, right? But I've just moved some money over to, what's it called? Wise. Now, did you know if you put money in with Wise, the interest on it varies from country to country. But at the moment, I'm getting, hang on, that tells me how much interest. Bear with me. Right, I'm getting 4.46 variable rate with Wise. So I was leaving my money, when I get money from YouTube, I let it build up a little bit. Then I was bringing it over to Thailand. So say it'd get to £5,000. I was just leaving that in the bank, and I was getting nothing on it really in England, in the Lloyds. So, I get 1,000 come through, 50, whatever it was. It come to about 5,000. I bring it over, and that'd last me for 3 months or something like that. And but I wasn't getting anything on it, and somebody told me about this with Wise. So what I do now, every time YouTube pay me, I move it straight over to Wise, and they just paid me £9.70 on that, which is about $12. It doesn't sound a lot, but that's monthly, So if you've got any money in a bank that you need for Thailand, move it over to Wise, and you'll get. I think it's the same. I was out to dinner with Edward tonight. I call him Saint Edward. I think he said the US, you get 4.8%. I might be wrong, but it's around the same. So yeah, move your money over to Wise. So it's good. Right, and I won on the national savings bonds. I've got a little bit of money, not too much, in the national savings bonds in the UK, because again, the banks don't do any interest, but they do a lottery each month, and I won £100. Wow, that's like $120 or 4,200 baht. But it's free money, isn't it? So yeah, I was over the moon about that. Be better if I won the million. That'd be like, at the moment, 43 million baht. God, that'd see me off to the end of days. I can't pronounce your name, so I'll put it up there. But you say, where are you now? UK, Thailand. I live in Thailand full time. I'm in Bangkok. Nana Station, BTS station, is just down the road there. And I think if you listen real carefully, if I shut up, you'll be able to hear the train. Listen.
สถานีต่อไปนานา Next station นานา
Next station, Siam. Interchange with Sukhumvit line. Doors will open on the right-hand side of the train.
See, I'm quite close, right? I can also hear the airport on the other side over here. Listen.
Attention please. This is the final call of Thai Airways International flight.
So I'm actually in a good location. I've got BTS here and the airport there. Right, okay. You know how long it took me to set that up? Right, where are we? Hobson's Childish, wasn't it? Hobson's Choice. Oh, listen, I just, in the members stream, I do joke of the week, and I normally read about 5 jokes, but I thought this one's so good. I'm just going to read this one joke here because it had me in stitches. I hope you get it, because it might not be the same in every country, but it says, if there isn't a Chinese millionaire called Cha-Ching, I will be so disappointed. I thought that was great. But anyway, all right, back to the serious stuff. Robin, okay, you're talking to No Name. Okay, Dutch Buddha, what's the euro doing as an exchange? Well, I'll put them up again if you've come in late. Let's grab that. There you go. You can see all the currencies there. And I do these. I mean, that's not old. I did that at about 5 o'clock this evening, so they're current. Okay. Nearly up to 300 now. Good to see you in, guys. I was a bit kind of concerned because the clocks have gone back in a lot of countries, and I thought, oh, I wonder if I'll get anybody in the stream tonight. It's very loud. Okay. What's very loud? Heard both of those today. For real, because you're here. Kurt Eric Monroe. You like that? Okay. Aussie Rose. I entered a Thai hospital by emergency ambulance in the ER. They charged my credit card 50,000 deposit. All I don't know what PMTS means. Or payments were made by credit card. No tests, operation, ICU, or other services were denied. Yeah. I mean, people think the hospitals are absolutely ruthless You know, I mean, yeah, they're a business, and they want to be paid for their service. It's not free, but they're not ruthless. You know, it's not like they're gonna, you know, if you can't pay, they're gonna just like pick you up and throw you in an alley at the back of the hospital and say get stuff. You know, I mean, it's not that bad, honestly. Right? Okay. I mean, Anton, I hope you were there, because I've just played it. Because Anton, I normally play that in the members area. And Anton, thank you very much for the super chat. Oh, you did hear it. Thanks for playing the BTS Nana clip. 28 days till arrival. Yeah, thanks for the super chat, Anton. Very generous of you. It just fitted in with a comment at the time, and I thought, I wonder if Anton's in yet, because I'll have to do it again. Otherwise, I might do it towards the end again. Let's see. Right. Okay. Where were we? Okay, Aussie Rose. Yeah, there's a good point about the hospital there. Hobson's Choice says, I love the BTS announcer. Well, if you want to know what she looks like, I've actually got her on my website. If you go down, it's obviously Thailand. It's thailand-bound.com. And it's just a very simple website just to have a presence. But if you go down, there's one line. It says, click here to see what the lady from the BTS sounds like. And I also had the one, but it's not on my website. I also had the one for the MRT. Right, everyone will leave me now. Right, Ruben Nilsson. Wow, 4% on Wise. Is there a limit amount? No. I mean, I had, when I found, I don't know if you mean a top limit, because I'm not a wealthy man. Doing okay, but I mean, I wouldn't have like 50,000 in there or something like that. But no, I don't know. But it's actually 4.6%, and I think that's net as well. So it's pretty good, isn't it? Right, Rain in Blood 123. Do your daughters watch your material? No, they don't. They absolutely hate it, is the truth be known. They don't really understand the concept of what I'm doing. You know, I mean, when we talk about mongering, and it's a bit of a giggle, isn't it? You know, I mean, we're not kind of, I don't want to say the word, but it begins with P. Well, most of us aren't anyway. And I'm trying to get the message across with it, keep YouTube happy. No, they stumbled across a couple of my pictures on the thumbnails and stuff, and they kind of said, look, we don't like it, Dad. And I've tried to send them some videos about, say, when I took the BTS down to the river and then a river taxi to Icon Siam, but they just don't want to watch it, you know. And do you remember I got trolled about 2 years ago? A guy wrote to my family anonymously, because I had businesses in the UK, so all my information is on you know, government, you know, the tax resources. And somebody wrote to my family anonymously. I mean, they sent 4 separate letters, and they said something like, I'd been talking about them and giving out all their personal information. I'd been siphoning money from England to Thailand, and I was planning to leave them all nothing. And I was banging bar girls every night, and absolute nonsense. And, you know, I actually ended up having to phone them up and say, look, you know, because they were really upset about it. And I had to say to them, you know, look, are you going to believe your own dad, or you're going to listen to some stranger who hasn't got the balls to put his name on a bit of paper, you know, and he's sending it anonymously, and it all ironed out in the end. But I don't really like to talk about them too much, because it just I wasn't giving out personal information. I just kind of say, I've got 2 daughters, one's older than the other, one in university, one's got her own business, and that kind of stuff. It's generalized, right? But the guy wrote in such, because they don't watch my channel, they kind of read it and took it at face value, like I'm giving out their personal details, you know. So in answer, that's a long way to tell you, no, they don't really like it. Okay, the Daily Malay, is it? I was there 2 weeks back, but on a higher. Yes, sir. Okay. Jesse, how you doing? You're counting down the days, right? How long you got? Not long now, is it? Khalid Khan, why visitors can't open a bank account in Thailand? They can. Thai Legal Protection offers that service. So in the link, you'll see a link that says, or Peter, any of them, Mark and Pom from Thai Visa on Soy 6, or you can go to the other link, Thai Legal Protection. If you come here as a tourist, they can open a bank account for you. Okay, simple as that. Right, the Daily Malay again. Anyways, most of the girls there are dressed beach themed, if you get what I mean. Okay, yeah, I understand. Cy London, there are plenty of nasty trolls out there. It's got a lot better. I don't know why. I used to attract a lot of them probably about 3 years ago, you know, especially during COVID. Maybe people, I think what it was, guys were sitting at home frustrated. They couldn't go to work, and they had a lot of time on their hands, and they're just, you know, I don't think they personally, that one guy obviously had a bee in his bonnet about me, but I don't think a lot of the trolls, I just think I don't know. I've never done any trolling, so I can't really, I'm trying to think of what to say. But yeah, there are a lot of them out there. I don't know what they get out of it. Maybe it's a satisfaction at seeing somebody get pissed off. I don't know. Hopefully, we'll both get our insurance coverage soon. Then we'll carry around a card with our insurance details, and there will be no problems if we're admitted to hospital. If we both get our insurance approved, and I've got a feeling they're going to turn me down simply on the triglycerines, because triglycerines are soft fat particles in your bloodstream. Okay, they shouldn't be higher than 150. Mine are 250. But all my other, everything else is normal. You never know, right? I think we should make a video about it, David, because you're with a different company, and we should explain what we've done. Because the company I've gone for, they're very, very hard to get insured with. But if they accept you, they're the best paying. There's no quibbles. And the hospital deal directly with them. It's not like you have to pay the hospital, then claim the money back. You just show them the card. The hospital ring up that insurance company. They've got offices here in Bangkok, and just confirm everything, and that's it. You don't have any worries. And they pay out. They don't quibble. Very rarely where they won't pay out. I did 2 years of research in the UK on insurance in Thailand. I never dreamed I'd get not turned down, but them not being insured for a heart attack and stuff. Peter, what's your number one restaurant in Bangkok and Pattaya? Well, at the moment, my number one restaurant in Pattaya is the Golden Ferret. I think it's great. I always stay down on Soi 2, Soi 3. There isn't a lot of options for a good breakfast around there. They're either over, they serve up these bloody hot dog sausages and slices of ham in hot water. They don't serve proper bacon and sausages. So what I do is, say if I'm in Soi 2, I walk down to the beach road, jump in a Songtel. I get out at Soi 8 on the beach road. I walk up Soi 8, and it's literally across the second road. And they do on a Sunday. I'm no affiliation, no backhanders, nothing like that. I'm just being totally honest. They do 5 different roasts on a Sunday. They do fish and chips that are very good, and they do some really good meals. And that's my number one go-to place at the moment. It used to be Kung's, and Kung's is still good, but it's a lot easier for me to get to if I don't rent a scooter, which I don't if I only go down for a day or two. It's a lot easier for me to get to the Golden Ferret than it is to get to Kung's. So that's my number one go-to place at the moment. For dinner, a lot of the time I'll go to I know what you're going to say. You're in Thailand, you're eating Western food. But a lot of the time I'll go to Sizzler in the big mall, near Walking Street, because they have a salad bar. So you can have just the salad and the soup for 199 baht. And sometimes I eat a lot in the day, and I think, well, I want to take it easy at night. I want to have a drink. I don't want to be bloated. So I'll go to Sizzler and I'll have the salad bar with soup, and that's enough to fill me up, and it's more healthier. In Bangkok, I like the Sportsman on Soi 13. I go there quite often. It can get very, very busy in there on a Sunday, and if they've got any matches on or anything like that, they do some pretty good food. I went to a place called 8855 tonight with Edward. That's just off Soi 8. Where else? I eat quite a lot in Terminal 21. I like the Mexican place there. They do a great salad in an edible bowl. I don't eat the bowl. Sunshine Tacos, I like that in there. You have a lot of eating. If I eat Thai food, we'll go to I go to a little place. I go on a scooter, a little place on 33/1. I think it's called Imijana. I did a Facebook post on it recently, and they're good food, and it's very, very reasonable as well. And that's opposite M-Sphere. Right, Paul G Eats. Hi, Pete. How you doing? Hi, Paul. How you doing? Rain in Blood 123. I don't think they are joking when they say they are mongers. Yeah, all right. Ricardo. Hi, Peter. Have you ever been? Let's put it up there. Hi, Peter. Have you? Let me just answer that one. Actually, there's a big difference between a monger and the word that begins with P and it's got a V in it, right? Or is there? I don't know. Okay, let's leave it. Let's leave it. Right. Hi, Peter. Have you ever been in a restaurant which has no mention of a service charge on the menu, but is there on the bottom line of the bill when it arrives? Well, none of them tell you. None of them. What happens? You order the food, and you ask for the bill, and it just comes and it's on the bill. Nobody says we serve. There's nothing on. I don't know. There might be the odd menu that says it, but I've never seen anything when I've been ordering food. I've never seen anything that says there's a 10% service charge of 50. I think you'd have to ask the waitress. When you sit down, say, "Is there a service charge? How much is it?" I don't mind paying a service. It gets me that I'm paying money for a service charge, and the staff aren't getting it. I don't know if you know this, but your average kind of worker in a restaurant, a waiter, waitress, a girl who works in 7-Eleven, that kind of level of work, they're earning between 9 and 10,000 a month. Now you work that out. That's probably about £220 a month. Okay. And they've got transportation costs because they're not living on Sukhumvit in Nana, right? They can't afford it. So the tips really make a difference. They're earning about 300 baht a day. So in some of the Western style pubs, like the one I've just mentioned, like the Bull's Head up at 33 and the Red Lion on Soy 30, is it 13? Yeah. And the Sportsman. Well, those girls do really well because, most of the guys go in there and they, the girls speak really good English and there's a little bit of flirting goes on. And I've seen those girls operate, they know how to be very friendly to the customers, and they're getting 50 bahts and 100 bahts all day. So they're doing really well on tips. No worries with them. But the girls who work in the sort of normal restaurants, where they don't have the banter so much with the customer, they just give you the menu they serve. It's a shame their money's reduced a lot because, most guys think, oh, there's a service charge, I'm not going to give them a tip. And that's what I used to think. And I'm kind of getting the message out there, guys, they're not making that money. Canary Express's Wing, is that Thai Legal Protection on Soy 6 Bangkok? No, their office is on Thai Legal Protection. Their office is on Wireless Road in Bangkok. I've been to their office. It's Peter and David, actually. Peter used to live in Pattaya, but he can get fed up down there, and he's now moved up to Bangkok here. So yeah, it's on Wireless Road, Bangkok. The bloke, we need. You said we need an unknown party to put together a list of restaurants whose owners keep tip service charges to let customers decide whether or not to be there. The problem is with that. You'd really limit yourself where to eat, especially if you want to eat Western food. I think most of the Thai restaurants, strictly Thai, no Western food at all. I think they're still okay, just VAT. But one guy said to me in the comments of that last video, he says, well, just refuse to pay it. But the problem is you can't, because if you ordered a burger and fries, for instance, you ate it and the bill come with a 15% service charge. I mean, this is particularly greedy, this one. It's normally about 10%. And you said, well, I'm not paying the service charge. They'd call the police and you would get arrested because you're not paying your bill, because the bill isn't 200 baht and a service charge. Your bill is the 200 baht plus a service charge, and you've eaten the burger, so you have to pay the bill. That's just how it is here. I know it seems unfair, but I must have had something very salty today. Right. You're saying, Stephen says, but doesn't staff pay staff salary? If yes, then the service charge or some other part of the bill goes to the staff. But I've just told you, they get like £200 a month, $250 a month of staff. Could you live on £20 a month? I know I couldn't. With all these kind of workers around the world, even the States and the UK, they rely on tips because they're paid the minimum wage. Well, now Keir Starmer's in, they're going to be doing all right, but that's another story. Stephen Weeks, looking good, Peter. Pumpkin Eater, many thanks for the update. I know a joke like that, but it's a bit too dirty for YouTube. But you say many thanks for the updates. Okay, cheers. The Daily Malay, has anyone realized there are more and more fancy burger joints popping up in Bangkok? There is. I mean, there is lots of everything popping up. Bangkok's no different to anywhere else. Time marches on and everything progresses, gets better, doesn't it? Well, not necessarily, but you know what I mean. But there is a lot of fancy, as you put it, burger places coming up. I mean, when I first stepped onto Thai soil in 1991, you couldn't buy white bread. You couldn't get bread. You'd have to go to a 5-star hotel to get bread. You couldn't get a burger, that's for sure. Not as we know it now. I mean, you can get everything now. So supermarkets are packed with Western food. There's so many bakeries do really good bread. There's one in Terminal 21. They bake it. You can see them baking. It's a Japanese company, but the bread is fantastic. The only thing is they don't do sourdough, and I like sourdough. So if I want bread, I tend to go to Villa to get it because they do sourdough. Trying to lay off the bread, they'll lose a bit of weight. Scuba Steve says, how is your love life at? You'll have to join me in the members stream, Steve. Andrea's costs. Oh, I can't say your name. I'll put it up. I checked my Wise account and I get 0%. But did it actually say 0? Because what you got to do is where you see your money. So like you see the flag of your country. So say it's in UK pounds, it'd be a Union Jack, right? So you click on that, and then you got options underneath, and it'll say, do you want to put, I'll show you on mine, look, where that I've actually got it. If I can get it up, you probably won't be able to see it though, because it's green and there's a green screen behind me. Okay, let me just see if I can. I'm just going to hide the balance because I've got to keep some things personal. But look, there's the interest. You can see there, I got £9.70 in interest last month, and I'm getting 4.46%. And I know the Americans get similar as well. You just have to check with your own credit. If you can't work it out, just go onto Google and type in how can I check what interest I get on Wise, and there'll be a step by step. That's what I do when I don't know something. Aussie Rules. Sizzler salad was 95 only a few years ago, but before the pandemic. They actually vary. They're not all the same price because I know the one in Terminal 21 used to be 166 baht, while the one down in Pattaya, funnily enough, was 199 baht. So they're not, although it's the same company, they're not always the same. There's a little bit of fluctuation there. I don't remember when they were 95 baht, but I remember when they were kind of like 160 baht. But I think for 200 baht, what's that? That's about £4.50, $5. I think that's great value, especially in an air-conditioned restaurant, you know, nice and comfortable. Right, Chris Card says Bangkok and Pattaya both have a sportsman on soy 13. Now, that's a coincidence that they're both on 13. I mean, look, honestly, the Sportsman's a great bar, and you know they do draft beer and the food's good and stuff. But I'm not into sports, and when there's an event on, the TVs are loud, and I don't like to eat in that environment. You know, it's like we were in a restaurant tonight, me and St. Edward, and 3 Thai girls was sitting in a corner. One was on a phone on loudspeaker for ages, real loud. And the other 2 were talking so loud. It was like being in a beer bar. I think they probably worked somewhere local. And it just kind of kills your atmosphere because you're having a nice meal, trying to have a conversation with somebody. And you've got her, you know, on a speakerphone for about 20 minutes. And they shout when they talk, you know, these girls. And it was just, what can you do? You know, what can you do? Right, John. Hello, Peter and gang. I'm afraid I missed the start. I'll be over in January, so maybe see you soon. Yeah, okay. Good stuff. Right, for Franco. I got that wrong. That wouldn't be the first time, Franco. I got that wrong. Mixed up with the names. Sorry about that. Canary spreads his wings. Okay, no worries. Daily Mali. I remember Jack's Bar at Bang Rack doesn't charge service or tax. It's all changing now. Just only 6 months ago, I could say half the restaurants I went into didn't charge service charge, but they all seem to be implemented it because you know the Thais are very fast to jump onto money making schemes, right? And it's like when the gold price goes down, you'll see the Thais queuing outside gold shops because they want to get it when it's low, so they can make on it. And if they see, hey, that restaurant across the road, the owner's making 10% on every check, you know, they're going to do it, aren't they? They're not going to let it pass by. You think your monthly takings in a decent restaurant, you put 10% on that. That's a lot of money if the restaurant's successful, that is. Barry from EastEnders. No, it wasn't that, mate, honestly. Stephen James, I don't think diabetes or gout go away. Sounds like you have them under control, though. I think you're right, because I did, like when I had diabetes too, and it was self-inflicted, you know, I was eating crap. And the doctor, you know, you've got a line in, I don't know how it's measured here, but in the UK, the number 4 is 40. There's a line on 40. So if you're like 36, 37, 38, you don't have diabetes. Once you cross over 40, then you're classed as diabetic 2. Okay. And when I went back to see the doctor in, remember 2 years ago, I lost about 25 kilos, put it all back on because I lost it. That's basically starved myself. I'm not doing it this way this time, which is why I'm losing weight very, very slowly. And the doctor said to me at the time, he said, if you came into my office today and we measured you, we'd class you as non-diabetic. You wouldn't be diabetic. And I said, oh, so I don't have diabetes. And he basically said the same as you. He said, look, you always, it never goes away. But, you know, if it's under the 40, then it's the same as you don't have it. Paul G.E. So I've done over 200 videos on Western food in Thailand. I gave them the change as a tip, mostly coins. Okay. Keith, how much does one tip in Thailand? It depends how satisfied you are. There isn't a number. I mean, 100 baht is quite a good tip for when you consider that the service charge, the service staff are earning 300 baht a day. You give them 100 baht. That's a third of their daily salary, isn't it? So if you're in the UK and you earn £100 in a day, it's like somebody giving you a tip of what, £35, something like that. I came here on a holiday when I used to come here as a 2-week millionaire, like we all have done. I used to tip a minimum 100 everywhere I went. 100 baht, 100 baht, 100 baht. Because at the end of the day, after the 2 weeks when I was here and I went back, in tips I'd probably tipped a couple of thousand baht, right? 50 quid in two, and I was a 2-week millionaire, right? But now that I live here, I generally tip. If I'm happy, I don't always tip. If I'm happy, I generally tip 40 to 50 baht, no more than that. And the Thais are very, very happy with that. You know, it's you know, I can't be tipping 100 baht everywhere I go now. I do sometimes, occasionally, if I'm really happy, like if I'm in a restaurant and the staff's really taking care of me because I'm a regular and it's busy and she's kind of really focused on me and keeping an eye on me, then she'll definitely get 100 put in her hand, definitely. Robin, hey Peter, have you tried? Let's put that up. Have you tried the American Chinese food place called Lucky Panda? Is there a British Chinese spot in Bangkok? I haven't really looked for. I haven't tried it, no, and I haven't looked for one in Bangkok. But I tell you what, where does do kind of British style Chinese food, and that's Kung's. You know, Kung's for the breakfast. Is it Soy Linky? I always get confused. Opposite, just off Soy Bacau. And if you go in there in the evening, they do Chinese food the same as you get it in England. Trevor told me about it, and I had some and it was good. Sean, I like Wok Star Express in Bangkok, American Chinese food, and in Pattaya, McDonald's in LK, Little Brothers is good too. Okay, people tell me off when I make videos about Western food. I don't know why they're bothered about it really. So I do Facebook posts, and I don't like to put the same two things on YouTube as Facebook. So what I tend to do on Facebook is if I go for a meal and I have, say, fish and chips down at the like I got fish and chips down at the Robin Hood on 33/1, and at lunchtime it's only 199 baht, and it's a nice portion of fish and chips. So I'll video it and I'll say, look guys, you know, if you're into fish and chips, it's 199 baht, Robin Hood from 12 till 3, something like that, and I post it. And I get the number of people who write in and say, oh, you live in Thailand, all that wonderful Thai food, how can you eat Western food, why did you fly 6,000 miles, you know, and you're eating fish and chips? And it's like, you know, I want to, it's up to me. You know, I eat a lot of Thai food, but I can't be expected to eat it breakfast, lunch and dinner for the rest of my life, surely. It's amazing what upsets people, it really is. Right, Reagan and Carter. God, I missed that show, the Sweeney. Hello, Peter. Are you no longer self-insuring? Will you be doing a vlog on your health insurance? If successful, would be interested. Thanks. Yeah. No, I'm still keeping that. I am self-insuring. But what I've got two worries about self-insuring. You know, I made a video about self-insuring 2 years ago. My two big worries are, one, if I did have a serious, something serious and it wiped out that 1 million, you know, it'd be very difficult for me to replace it. And the second thing is if I got something like Ed Sweeney had and I couldn't fly back and the bills were just mounting up, you know, and then what they'd probably do is transfer me to a public hospital, and, you know, they're not great. They're not great. So for the meantime, and I've got a feeling they're going to decline me again. Okay. But fingers and toes crossed. I'll probably know by the end of this week, you know, this coming week. And if they accept me, I will make a video about it. I'll tell you the name of the company and I'll tell you how to bring the price down, because originally they quoted me 80,000. The insurance I want is 80,000 baht a year. Okay. But I've actually got that same insurance down to 39,000 a year. And the way I've done it is if you opt out of outpatients. So, you know, outpatients, you know what outpatients is, right? Normally it's you go to the clinic or the hospital, you sit down and see a doctor, you get some tablets. Okay. You're talking 1,800 baht or a couple of thousand baht. You're not talking 50,000, 100,000. It's outpatients. Okay. You're not in hospital. Maybe you break your leg when you fall down, you get a plaster and you have to go back 6 times to get the plaster changed. Well, I don't know what it costs, but in Thailand it's not going to be more than 5,000-10,000. So by doing that, by opting out of the patients, it brought the insurance policy down by 25% just by not having the outpatients. The other thing I did, they give you the option to pay the first, there's a word for it, I can't remember what it's called, but you know, when you like with car insurance, you'll take out insurance, I'll say, but you have to pay the first £100 or you have to pay the first £500. I forget the word they use. But they give you the option of paying the first 10,000, 20,000, 40,000, 100,000. And I could go 40,000, right? So again, that's brought my insurance policy down by another 15 or 18%. But so by just tweaking it like that, if it comes through, I'll have a very good insurance policy. And it's costing me, from 80,000 baht a month down to 39,000 baht a month just by having no outpatients and offering to pay the first 40,000. Now, I know that sounds ridiculous, because you're saying, well, if you're insured, why would you want to pay 40,000? Because I'm gambling that nothing will happen to me and I'll keep that 40,000. But if something does happen to me, to come up with £1,900 is pretty easy to do compared to not having insurance, isn't it? So that's the logic behind it. And I will definitely make a detailed video about it if they come back and say, yep, you're insured. There's certain things I don't care if they don't insure. If they don't insure me for gout related, gout, whatever gout, that doesn't bother me. I haven't had gout for 12 years. I just told them about it. If they don't insure me for things like, not things that I'm not worried about, the main things I want to be insured for is a heart attack and strokes, and I want repatriation if it all goes tits up. That's the main things, and that's what's important. Right. Somebody said, if you don't get it, why are you staying in Thailand? Because if something serious happens, you only got that money. But at the end of the day, what do? Stay at home in England and, okay, at least I'm safe. I'm near the NHS, or I can live my life, right, and hope for the best. Right. Lost my hat. Sizzler, 139 baht, Monday to Friday here in Hua Hin. Well, that's a really good deal. I put that up there. 139 baht. What's that? 45. That's about £3. Excellent value. I've got a friend who lives he doesn't live in Hua Hin, but he spends about 3 months at a time. He's still in the UK. His son's grown up. But I said to him, have you got a girlfriend? He said, I can't afford one. He says, I'm on an old age pension. He says, girls cost money, don't they? And I said, well, no, if you get a real girlfriend, not a bar girl. And he says, yeah, but even, you're paying double for meals, you're paying for drinks. And so he doesn't have a girlfriend. LBC, sorry about the old nose scratch. Just so I can get one of these out. Right. What's your thoughts on inflation in Thailand? Do you think it will get worse? Compared to places like England and America, no, I still think it's very reasonably priced here. Of course, prices go up, but a lot of things are near enough the same as they've always been. The cost of taxis, the transportation costs, Thai food, that's not expensive. It's, when you talk about Western food and places like McDonald's and Burger Kings, they're charging phenomenal money. But as far as inflation goes, the Thais are pretty good at controlling inflation, and they're pretty good at doing things to get the business. They're doing lots of different things to get more tourists in now. They're building that third runway at Suvarnabhumi. So they don't just sit back and do nothing. If they see there's a problem with the economy, or they see something on the horizon, they do these visa-free or extended visas and all sorts of things. So I don't think it's going to be a big problem at the moment, not worse than anywhere else. Gary Warden, I'm meeting my Thai girlfriend in Bangkok next month. She needs a new phone as her old one is worn out. Where do you recommend going to purchase one? Samsung, if you're getting an Android. They're in all the big malls. Don't buy one from the MBK Centre, because a lot of the software's copied. I remember a few years ago, I went in there and I looked at a Samsung S10 and it was really cheap, brand new. And I thought, wow. And I started playing with it and it was lagging and it just didn't work like a proper Samsung phone. So get it from one of the, a proper retailer, a Samsung retailer. Don't buy one from a little, one of these shops that have got these little stores, because if you get it from a Samsung shop, you guarantee real deal. Any problems, you can take it back. It'll be under warranty. And there's a whole range. They do phones from like 10,000, good phones from 10,000 baht. It's only if you want something like, I've got the, this is 2 years old now. It's the S22 Plus. That's like 45,000 baht. I'm sure you're not going to get one of them, but yeah, just don't buy it from one of these small kind of mall setup shops. You know what I mean? Right. The Daily Millie, the good insight on the service charge part. A lot of these restaurants do not pass them down to the staff, not justified in Thailand. The worst thing about it is we don't know. So we just assume and we don't give them a tip. Because they, I remember, I've told you this story before. On one of the rare occasions I was in Nana Plaza, I call her a hardened waitress come up with a bill. She must have been about 45, and you could tell she'd been through the mill. She'd probably worked as a bar girl most of her life, and she just looked like she was looking at me like I was just a piece of crap on her shoe. And she was like a real hardened character. She's seen it all, and she brought the bill, and I said, "Oh, I'd like to scan it, please." And she kind of snatched the thing out of my hand, because she knew when guys scan, a QR code through one of my Thai banks here. Most guys, they don't leave it. Some guys will leave a tip, but a lot of guys won't leave a tip. They'll scan it, say thank you, and walk out. And the fact that she knew I was going to scan it pissed her off. Okay, and she snatched the bill pad out. She would never get a tip off me anyway, even if I paid cash. I would have picked every single coin out of the tray. I've got a problem with attitude like that. I had a guy in Pattaya in a pharmacy, English speaking Thai. I was really surprised. I went in and I asked for, I forget what I asked for, something headache, or I had to runs or something, and he pulled out a Western product, and there's always a Thai variant, right, which is just as good, but it's about a third of the price. And he tried to sell me the Western product, and I said, have you got a Thai equivalent? And he went down, he took it out, and he told me what was in it, and I said, oh, is it the same? Are they the same two ingredients? And he actually said to me, he says, I've just told you what's in them. He says, just get out. Yeah, and I was like really surprised. I was just checking that the ingredients were the same. I wasn't kind of question his knowledge or anything, but he was just short-tempered, just told me to get out of the pharmacy. And I just said the first thing that came in mind, I just said, no wonder it's empty in here. Anyway, Wayne says Fortune Town. I wouldn't, that's not my first choice to buy a phone. I would go across the road to Central Plaza because they have several Samsung shops in there, and they're the real deal. Damon, you're in. You made it for the last 50 minutes. That's good. Nice to see you in. Evening, Mr. Peter. Just got back from town. I bought you 2 presents. Let me guess what they are. 2 presents. Number 1. Number 2. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Right. Paul G. Eats. Scruffy Murphy's in Bangkok do some excellent Chinese food. Oh, where is that Scruffy Murphy's? That rings a bell. Where is that, Paul? Is it off Ceylon? No, it's not Australian. I've seen it. I can see it. I can't remember where it is. No shelter here. American Chinese really sounds like crap. More crap, like an American pizza. No. Gary Warden, her phone is really worn out. Ruben Nielsen, there. I'll tell you a similar story in the members stream. Right. Ruben Nielsen, there is no tip culture in Thailand, only where there are foreigners, period. Yeah, you're probably right on that one. You're probably right, because I've got a few Thai friends here now that I sometimes go out with, and they never ever tip, never. And one of them said to me one time, they said, what we think, they said, foreigners are very, I forget the word he used, but what he was trying to say, like foreigners are very careless, not careless, that's the wrong word. They're just, with their money, they're kind of like, like this. And he says, Thais aren't like that. We're very frugal. We think very carefully before we spend anything, whereas foreigners are just, And the times when I leave a tip, they're like looking at me like, why are you giving money away? Thai food is amazing, but it's true. You can get tired of all that Thai seasoning. Laugh out loud. Well, if you've been watching my channel for a while, I hate garlic. Okay, I just can't stand the smell of garlic. Now, if it's in an Indian curry or something like that, I can eat it. I know there's garlic in there, but I can't smell it. I can smell curry. Okay. And I went out tonight and I had a meal in 8855 with a guy called Edward who lives on Soy 10. And I ordered, just for a change, I ordered a chicken steak and I think it was potatoes or something and vegetables like broccoli and all that. And it had all little white garlic on the vegetables. And I was like, why did he put garlic? And I give the vegetables to him. And I was like disappointed because I wanted to eat the vegetables, but I don't know why they put garlic on the Western vegetables like that. And don't, the first reaction I get from people when I say I don't like garlic is, oh, it's good for you. If eating dog crap was good for you, and it was really good for you, would you eat it? No. Right. Sean, McDonald's in LK Metro do British food. I'm American. I go for their lamb. So good there. Where's that place you're always talking about, Damon? The Hungry Hippo, isn't it? I've not been in there. Okay. No, you can't. It's not deductible, David. You can't deduct it if you're talking about the service charge. Martin Ryder, excess of loss. Sean, okay, I've done that one. Right. Venture Cast. I just got back from being there on a 30-day trip. The overwhelming majority of my meals were Thai food, but there were a few days when I wanted to eat some Western stuff, just break from the chilies. So what happens with me, I cook a lot of food at home because I enjoy cooking. I don't want to just, I can't afford to go out every night, that's for sure. So I don't want to just like I do a lot of editing in the daytime, or like the background video. When I tell a story, I've always got a walk around. I do them myself. So for this week, I walked down Soi 22 from Sukhumvit, which is a very long road. And then the following week, I'm coming up Soi 24. Very interesting, actually. So that takes up a lot of my time. I'm making regular videos and the stories and everything, the live streams, preparation this afternoon for the live stream. So that's kind of in the day. Well, I don't want to just like plonk myself down in front of the TV every night. So I enjoy going out to the thinking. I made a shepherd's pie the other night. I watched what's the name of that chef, famous English chef, the one who's always telling all the other chefs off, Gordon Ramsay. He does short, precise, to the point videos, and I wanted to know how to make shepherd's pie, proper shepherd's pie. And I watched it, wrote down all the ingredients, went down to Villa, got all the ingredients, come back, watched it again. It was only 3 minutes long, and I made a decent shepherd's pie, you know. And I actually enjoy doing the cooking, and I do cook some Thai food as well. Last night I made a nice stir fry, and I do like it spicy. But you're right, you know, before I was doing a lot of cooking, I eat Thai food as well. But, you know, there'd be days I'd wake up and as soon as my eyes are open, I think, I want a pizza today. I've got to have a pizza, or I've got to go to Burger King. You know, you just get that sometimes, don't you? I suppose it's like if you live in the West and you're eating sausage mash and potatoes or sandwiches or cheese toasties. Every now and again you think, let's have a, I nearly said the wrong word there. Let's have a Chinese tonight, you know, and you'll order as Chinese. I think it's similar to that. Right. Yeah, that's where I went tonight. That's where I said to the girl, next time, don't put any garlic on the vegetables, please. I don't like it. And she was like looking at me kind of like, he's a strange one. Food was pretty good in there, actually. Right opposite another famous venue, which we won't mention here, but it begins with L. Paul G. Eats. I know an American guy working for AIA. He can get a nice insurance for about 20 Thai K. Is that a year or a month? Must be a month, right? No, it can't be a month. Yeah, he's probably fit though. Got nothing wrong with him. Yeah, I mean, they don't test you. As long as you're under 65, you don't have to go for a test. And if you don't drink in the daytime, even if you drink in the evening, even if you drank heavily in the evening, as long as 8 to 10 hours goes by, if you had to go and have a medical, the alcohol would be completely out of your blood system, to the point where it wouldn't be high. Otherwise, everybody would be breathalyzed in the mornings in the daytime in the UK, wouldn't they? But the company I went with, if you're 65 or under, and I've got 6 months before I'm 65, if they accept me, I don't have to have a medical, and they'll insure me until I'm like 99. If I don't think I'll live that long, but yeah, they do. Like a lot of other companies, they say they'll insure you. You get to 65, and they say, well, we don't insure over 65. And you're like, but you know, I've been with you for 20 years, and I'm like, well, that's how it is, you know. And they're the ones I don't want to go with, you know, the surprises, as it were. Right, T-Money said, I like the kind of insurance. It's a disaster policy with a deductible. Best way to go if you're fairly healthy. I think I'm fairly healthy. I mean, who doesn't take, you know, 1 or 2 tablets when they're nearly 65? Davey B, the way your insurance sounds like catastrophic health insurance here in the States, that's the way I'd go. Okay. It's a difficult one, isn't it? Gary, she had problems with it in March when I was in Bangkok. It's about 5 years old now. She's had it repaired several times. You're talking about the mobile phone, of course. Yeah. If she's your girlfriend, your long-term girlfriend, I mean, obviously, if a phone's broken, it's broken. Martin Ryder, would you get your ashes scattered around Soy Cowboy? I would not. Fred, Swedish early retire, thinking of Thailand. Yeah, just do it, Fred. Don't think about it. I wish I'd done it earlier. Leroy, a real girlfriend pays for the drinks and meals. Yeah. Not all of them, but offers the odd one. Alvo EFC. I'm talking to a girl from Mukdahan. She's never been to Pattaya. Do you know? I've never heard of it. Honestly, I'm not going to say it again because I probably screwed up the pronunciation. Honestly, I haven't said. I'm going to skip down to a few of the latest ones because we're about 10 minutes to go. Let's start with Paul GE's. Garlic is great, keeps the mosquitoes away. I don't care if it makes my dick 2 inches longer. I'm not eating it. Wayne Bridge, garlic keeps your blood pumping. Yeah, I've heard that one as well. I just can't stand the smell. I love onions. I absolutely love onions. And I wish I liked garlic because I can't eat in Thai food courts because all the food is prepared and they're the cheapest place to eat. All the food's prepared and it's always got garlic in it. I like hoi lai. That's those mini shells that they stir fry. They're like little shells with meat inside them. It's a seafood and they stir fry them with basil and chilies and it's lovely. But when they're pre-made, they've always got a lot of garlic in them. You know, I can see the white specks of garlic. When I go to get it made fresh in a restaurant, I tell them no garlic in Thai. And I also say no sugar. I say no garlic, no sugar. Most of the time, it just come out how I like it. Damon says, Peter, yes, Hungry Hippo looks like a trucker's cafe in Canning Town in London, but very clean, a massive menu, great food, definitely recommend it. Is it yellow? Is it kind of the paintwork yellow? Because I think I might have popped in there once, but not anything. I don't know why I wouldn't. Maybe I got a phone call or something. Barry Lim, hi Pete. I know I got a cheap flight, £460 on 11th of November. There were same going cheaper, maybe catch up and let you know how it goes. Have to work today, so all the best and thanks for the great stream. Okay, Barry, thank you, look forward to that. Paul, if you live in England, you don't eat fish and chips every day. True. I used to eat fish and chips about once a week in the UK, but not on a Friday because I can't stand queuing. And round where I lived, every fish and chip shop had queues going around the corner on a Friday. Do you know why? I think I've mentioned this before. I'll tell you again. Do you know why McDonald's introduced the fish burger? I don't know when it was, in the 60s maybe, right? Because, you know, the fillet of fish, they call it. The reason they invented that, or produced it, whatever you want to call it, the reason they brought out the fillet of fish into the menu is because when McDonald's, they were very big in the kind of New York area and other parts of, well, let's talk about New York. There were a lot of Catholic communities in New York that used to eat McDonald's, but on a Friday, Catholics don't eat meat. They only eat fish, okay? And McDonald's noticed that their revenue plummeted on a Friday, so they had to come up with a marketing scheme to get the revenue back up. So they came out with the fillet of fish, and the Catholics could go and eat a fillet of fish burger on a Friday, and it solved the problem. That's how it came about. Right, Ben Leo, the Ushman Muslim food on Soy 22, really good South Thai food. Okay. I mean, you sport for choice in Pattaya actually as well. I mean, even the Western food, I think, here is better than the UK. Yeah, that's funny. Where's Paul Hoskins? He's in every stream for the last. I miss his comments. I bet you don't miss his jokes, so Martin. API, what walking shoes do you favour? It was so hot last May. My Crocs dug into my skin. You didn't wear Crocs, did you hear? Lost my hat. I'm loving Penang chicken. Yeah, Penang chicken's really nice, but there's a lot of coconut milk in there, and coconut milk is very fattening. And one of the things the doctor told me to stay away from was coconut milk, funny enough. But yeah, I used to eat a lot of that. Penang Gai, very nice. Damon, yes, yellow and green, very colourful restaurant, lovely food, and they do frozen Indian dishes you can take away. Very handy if you've got a condo there. Okay, that's good. A lot of guys live in Pattaya. I'm sure they like to hear that. Canary spreads his wings. Have you been to, I think it's called Monsoon on Soy 8? I have many, many times. They do very, very good food in there, but it's not cheap. Ruben, Mukdaham is close to the end of the earth. Pay a visit and you'll find out. Okay. Yeah, I think he's been a bit funny with me there, that guy. Right, okay, let's just get rid of that. Right, right, Paul G. Eats. I can't remember fish and chips on a Friday. Oh, in the UK, it's a really, really big thing. Really big thing. Paul says it was a fish and chips van. Yeah, a lot of the for the American viewers, a lot of the rural areas in the UK, we have a lot of kind of smaller villages, built up a lot now, but especially in the kind of 80s, early 90s and stuff. There are a lot of villages in the UK. All they had was kind of like a local shop with a post office, so the pensioners can get their pension. It used to be cash in those days, and they'd normally have one or two pubs. A very small village would have a pub and a store, you know, like a 7-Eleven, but it was just a regular mum and pop's shop. And there was a fish and chip van would go around to these villages on a Friday, and it was a real treat for, you know, pensioners and stuff who didn't have cars, who couldn't get into the bigger towns that might be, say, 5-10 miles away. So on a Friday, these fish and chip vans, you know, would drive to each village, and, you know, they knew the kind of times a fish and chip van would get there, and, you know, they'd have massive queues because the pensioners couldn't get into town. API, I got sick once from a place off Sukhumvit. I always eat 7/11. It's good. So what I always say about that, a lot of people say, oh, I went there and I got food poisoning. And a lot of the time it's not that. What you got to remember is if you go into somewhere like Terminal 21, you grab you know, you're on the escalator, you've got your hands on the rubber, you know, the rubber grips on the side, or you go on the BTS and you grab one of those, you know, to hold on one of those handles, or you go into a toilet. you're picking up millions of germs, thousands of people touching those handrails, touching the in the BTS, thousands of people, and then you pick up a burger and eat it. The chances are you're getting food poisoning from what's on your hand, not what's in the burger. I know you can get food poisoning, but that's something people don't think about. Reagan and Carr, are you going to leave your member stream open for the general public this week? No, I've double checked it. And the person I always speak about in the member stream, when I'm doing the member stream, the person I always talk about, because I think they're not going to be in the member stream. They were actually listening last week and translating it, and luckily I didn't say anything bad, so I got away with that. We're nearly done, guys. I've got to have a 15-minute break, get everything ready for the member stream. I'll be back in 15 minutes. So a lot of members now, so I'll just tell you what's going on in the member stream. So I'm doing a brand new Spot the Lady Boys. I've changed the format now. It's completely different. It's a new competition. I'm not rerunning the old one. So I've got a brand new Spot the Lady Boy. I'm doing another Spot the Tiger, all the Asian pictures, which one is Thai. I've got a brand new manga minute, never been shown before. It's a brand new manga minute. I've got joke of the week, or I should say jokes of the week, and I've got some more local stories of what's going on tonight. So it should be, and I'll tell you the latest on you know what, if you remember. And to everybody else, look, guys, I'm going to call it a day here because I'm running out of time, unfortunately. Let me just line up my little lady here. So thank you to Joyous Rumor for the super chat. There was one or two others in there as well. Thank you for the super chats, guys. Thank you to Chris, of course, and Franco and Damon for moderating. Thanks for you guys joining me. If you're a member, I'll see you in about 15 minutes. Should be a good stream tonight. But to everyone else, thanks. I hope you enjoyed the stream, and I'll be back soon with another stream. Just a quick warning, because my microphone's up there, it's very low. So when I put the music on, you might want to grab the volume. Okay? Good night, guys. Thanks a lot.